Good morning. This ain't gonna be a long video. I'm getting breakfast, waiting for them to send me a load. Oh, I can't get meds too. I wanted to deal with something I read yesterday on one of my groups because I know a lot of newbies that watch. Some of you who are just getting into trucking, and especially females, but it can happen to males because I know a male who it happened to at the company I'm at back when I first started in 2010. And actually ran into him because he actually got turned from the company, and then for whatever reason they let him come back. So I ran into him recently here. So he was one this happened to as a male driver that this can happen to. So don't always limit because you're a man or a woman, especially men, and especially males. I'm going to say men loosely because you might not be a grown man, but you might be a grown male. But it can happen to you whether you're male or female. Especially though for females. When you come out here with trainers, and something I learned in trucking from my first company that I was with, the first training company, whoever reports the incident first in trucking is who is believed in trucking. It's a ghetto way of doing it. While I understand it, it can be a setup either way, but I get the idea that most likely if Sally Sue reports that Joe Bob, who's training her, is sexually harassing her, then that is most likely true. And it might not even be sexual harassment. Like with my issue where I fractured the ankle, I made the first contact that there was an issue. Then the fracture happened. So there are question marks. That woman is not training today. She is still an employee of the company. I know that she was an owner-op, and I don't know what transpired between the fracture of the ankle, but she knows just a day cab driver. That's what she does. I don't know all the details behind it. I don't know if it had something to do with my incident or not. I do know that the gentleman who was over student services, when me and him talked, he told me she called talking about I didn't fall. Well, then how did the ankle get broken while she was on your truck? She wasn't even there. She went to the bathroom after she told me to sweep out the back because I was going to take over. And I said I was coming into Phoenix. We were already in Phoenix. And then we were going to go get another Bose load or another load and head back to Cali because she just went back and forth, shuttle driver back and forth to Cali. So, I don't know. I know she doesn't train. I know she turned in her owner-op truck, and I know she's only a day cab driver. That's all she does now for this company. That I do know. Now, I reported the incident. As soon as I started picking up that the things weren't right, I reported it immediately in writing. I'm a big writing person, okay? And I want you guys to hear me on this. If there's an issue with that trainer, and I need you to hear me because I just read something that was very disconcerting on one of the sites. And this is an older young lady. I would say my age, but she looks to be probably in her 30s. She came in, got her CDL, excited about it. She's on one of the trucking groups on my Facebook. I'll tell you a couple stories. She's on a couple on my Facebook on a trucking group. She got her CDL. She's really excited. I know y'all, I'm weird. I like mustard and lettuce, tomato, and onion on my breakfast sandwiches. I know that sounds weird as hell. I like tanginess. She came in, owner-op, to get her training after getting her CDL. And in thus doing, she was supposed to go out with a trainer. She asked for a female trainer. And this is where training needs more women in trucking. And I know I'm not training, but they do need more women trainers. And so she asked for a female trainer. They said we don't have any right now, and if we do have them, but unfortunately they're all busy with students. You'll have to wait a little bit if you only want to take a female trainer. If you willing to take a male trainer, we'll go ahead and get you one down. They got her some dude. Now, what the trucking companies are supposed to do is do a background check on the male drivers. Make sure there's no sexual issues, because in this industry you can have felons, but make sure that driver has no sexual issues in rape, molest, any kind of thing like that. They have to do, they're supposed to do a very thorough background check on male trainers, okay? Very thorough. Y'all give me a moment. I gotta get my it has cheese on it, so I have to do a lactate tab because I'm lactose intolerant. Y'all, if you do cheese, dairy, whatever, get these at Walmart. It ain't that expensive. They have chewable. Okay. This won't have any flavor. Some of them are vanilla flavor. This one don't have any flavor. Anyway, you're supposed to take it when you first eat. Anyway, they told this young lady that they didn't have any male trainers. I mean, any female trainers. So she's thinking, hey, you know, I'm going to take a male trainer. I don't want to be waiting forever. Another thing, ask them what the wait is. They know, they should have know when a student got on a female trainer truck and when that student's going to get off. I had to wait for trainer bill a week. So what? I wait from 5 days. Big deal. At that point, I was willing to wait because I had nightmare 1, nightmare 2. Okay. They know when the female trainer is going to be available. They do. Okay. I went through 2 nightmares, male trainers with the first company I was with, and I had to wait for a female trainer. She was better, but still got too comfortable. That's when we slid in the truck in New York. Now, this girl put up to me with way beyond the scope of issues. As soon, ladies or gentlemen, whoever this may happen to, as any perverted conversation happens, any damn thing, anything, any suggestions like, oh, we're going to do a joint shower together. As soon as that happens, you need to be emailing whoever the hell you supposed to report to. And whatever company you're at, before you go out with a trainer, you make sure you have a contact person. You get a name, you get an email address for which you can go ahead and send an email to. Okay? Don't buy the BS. This is 2017. Everybody got email capability. You need something so if anything is hinky on that truck, anything, even if it's not sexual harassment, even if they're just an asshole on that truck, you can be emailing somebody of your issues. Get it in writing. The reason I don't say the Qualcomm, because it's a shared thing and they can see your stuff. Okay? One thing that happened with my trainer Bill, and I liked him, he had an issue where he put me up in a hotel. He did home time during my training, and he's from San Diego, or where he was living. They were supposed to reimburse him for my hotel stay because he paid with his card. I woke up out of bunk and he remembered my sign-on stuff and signed into my payroll to see if they accidentally put the reimbursement on my check. That's a no-no. I didn't like that. I didn't say anything because we were almost done. But that was the only thing he did that was offensive to me. Other than that, and it's not a big deal. He knows what I'm getting paid, because I'm getting minimum wage during the training, how they had it set up. But you need to have me check my shit. I don't want you in my personal shit. Okay? When you get into my finances, that's my business. That's the only thing he did that to me offended me. Other than that, perfect gentleman. Okay? And I understand he is the sole breadwinner for his household. And he had rent coming up, and he probably was stressed out because his rent was due. And they didn't give him the money that he was supposed to get reimbursed for my hotel stay in San Diego. And I think it was a couple $100 for me staying there for 3 days at the hotel. Okay? Now, if your trainer is a pervy and he's saying or doing anything inappropriately, and this happened to a guy I know, you need to report that shit immediately. I don't care if he's like, oh, well, maybe. No, ain't no maybes. If anything is a question mark in your gut, Bill told me, follow your damn gut. Follow your gut. Report that shit and do it in writing. You follow up immediately. Okay? This girl waited until he made comments about sleeping with her in the bottom bunk. And no, you waited too long. That's too damn long. You should have reported that shit as soon as he started making the team shower comments. There was a young girl who worked for another starter company, and I don't know where this other lady worked for. Another starter company, not the one I'm with. The guy was coming on to her, okay? She's trying to get through her current training. She's young. The baby was young, under 25. The company ended up firing her because this asshole turns around and says she was coming on to him. The baby's like, now I don't know what to do because they've termed her for possibly sexual harassment, and I don't know if in trucking they tell that to the next company. So I don't know that this baby could even get back into another company based on what they termed her for, okay? You have to report. Whoever reports first is usually who the trucking company will believe. The other problem is that if you're with somebody who's been with the company a long time, oftentimes, if you don't report it first, they'll take them as a credible person. If you report it first, you raise the right question mark. They should get you off that truck, get you on another truck, and they need to investigate that driver. This is where I was saying that I didn't like the way my company does their training, because it used to be they would check in. They would call a student. They would, when I was first here, they would call you. How's your training going? Are you getting showers? How frequently are you getting showers? Are you sleeping on the top bunk while the trucker is driving? Okay. My boy Big L, when he was with this company, his trainer was a Latino guy, and I'm not knocking Latino people. My family is a rainbow coalition, child. We got Asians. My niece is Spanish and black, speaks fluent Spanish and English. My sister-in-law is married to a Mexican guy. I'm just going to keep it real. So I'm just keeping real. I'm being real here, people. But this is an industry to me that if you're in it, I don't care where you're from, because we got people coming from Africa, from the Middle East. There was a guy who did the close quarter backing class, and the close quarter trainer was pissed because the dude didn't speak no damn English. He's from the Middle East. So I don't care what country you from. When you drive in this vehicle, you need to have a command of the English language in some form or fashion. I don't care if English is your second language. You need to understand it. Okay? We need to understand it. If you're training, how the hell do you have somebody training somebody who speaks English and this person don't speak English? This guy spoke fluent Spanish, very little English. So he'd be pointing at shit for my boy to learn. Then he was a kind of an asshole. When he was right, he didn't like my boy sleep. He didn't like to sleep on the bottom bunk, so he would sleep on the top bunk while the student was driving. There's shit you guys need to report, because what I told my boy Big L is like, look, if he's doing this and you get pulled over and DOT sees that, you're going to be the one they're going to ticket. You're going to be the one they're going to go up your ass with, okay? And you need to let your company know, because they're also going to ask you, why did you move that truck with that person on the top bunk? You know it's illegal. People hear me, and I understand I put up with some stuff with TV Watcher girl. We had to have some, but I had come to Jesus meetings with her, because she not only did that, she also was a scaling loads. And we had to have come to Jesus meetings on stuff, okay? You're going to pay to scale this load while I'm driving it. Because if it's overweight out here in Texas, they will pull a scale out in the middle of nowhere. They'll bring a portable scale out there and scale that damn load. So we going to scale the damn load. You know you're taking over 30-some thousand pounds. That load needs to be scaled, okay? Report these people if they do not. If you have a come to Jesus meeting with your trainer, and see, for sexual stuff, that needs to be reported like that. Like that. Once I have a come to Jesus meeting about other stuff, then you need to correct that. And I had to tell her, I said, I don't care that you listen to TV, but you need to turn this shit over. I don't care. I listen to audiobooks. I ain't reading them down down the road. No, I'm not. So, for my newbies, if you have trainers who are doing this weird shit, please report them. And do it immediately, because who reports first in trucking companies is the one they believe. Anyway, this is just a video of cover your ass while you training. And if your trainer's a piece of shit, let them know. I'm just saying. Oh, at the end, sushi. Y'all see the sushi I got yesterday. And it was the truth. It was good. I'll be back there. Sushi here in, well, San Diego, whatever. And it's a mall like 5 miles from here. It wasn't even 5 minutes. It's a mall. And you can tell I'm not into monetary things anymore, because I went right into the thing called or did my lift and came right back out and left. But the sushi was on hit, fresh as hell. If I ever get back down here, that's my spot. That's my spot. Peace, y'all.